bitches, every city in my tribe. Look behind. Booty dominate the world, peaches ripe.
Hello.
Hello. How was your day?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
Amazing. What is abortion is healthcare? What does that mean?
So, pregnancy has so abortion is a medically necessary and safe procedure, which qualifies it under healthcare. To put it short and sweet.
Do girls ever get injured during an abortion?
It's very. Are we talking like globally or the United States?
Just the United States.
It is rare. It is 14 times more likely you are to die in death from birth than from abortion.
Crazy. What's your stance on it though? Like just leave it open for everyone to use?
Yeah, I don't think there should be any legislation regarding abortion.
I can't imagine the number of kids from the age of 13 to 18 who do not use condoms, who are in bad neighborhoods and trying to do the only thing that feels good to them. And then getting to press the reset button over and over. And I guess the only thing I care about is a little responsibility, consequence, humility, morality. We keep taking this away from these kids and giving them the power to do what they want, to say who they are, to tell us what pronouns they use. It goes on and on, because from the ages of 12 to 18, you're kind of a crazy person. Very hormonal and very argumentative and very tough to debate. So that's the only reason I stand for at least some sort of legislation that says we can't let kids go around just banging constantly and deleting the babies because they want to do it next week. There's no lesson in that, right? There's no lesson in what we're doing here. And a lot of doctors.
You're saying a child should be a consequence?
What does that mean? They don't have to raise it. When we take the money from Planned Parenthood, we add it to better abortion adoption laws.
I see. So pregnancy then is a consequence.
Pregnancy is the consequence?
Well, because you kept saying things like we need to teach kids a lesson. We need to.
Yeah, that would definitely show, right? A 16-year-old in school with the belly, like, man, another girl might look at that and think, wow, I don't want to do that. In the 70s, they made.
So wait, I'm sorry. You just said a lot of stuff, so I want to make sure I unpack it so that I understand exactly what you're saying. So you're saying your solution for children who what you think are acting irresponsibly is to punish and shame them.
No, they're doing it to themselves. You see, when they get to go delete everything and continue on with the gangster life, then they're cool.
No. This is what you think should be the blueprint of entering into society. So don't kind of deflect and say they're doing it to themselves.
Well, they are. They're doing it. They're
right, but
you
are essentially saying, I want policy to shame and punish children for acting irresponsible.
Shame?
Yeah, you just said she got
for accountability.
She got a belly. She's 16. She's going to school. Like, you want her to feel shame from that, right?
No, I want other girls to feel shame from looking at her and understanding what a consequence is and what math is, because they're missing the mathematical equation. That you can't just do it all the time. You can't just do what feels good.
I think that is a very problematic and honestly a very uncompassionate and apathetic idea on how to implement something. If we were going to find a way to reduce unwanted pregnancy, I think a more pragmatic solution would be free contraceptives, public funding of IUDs.
They are free. They don't use them. They're free.
Sex education in school.
These kids know what they're doing at 10 years old. They know.
So now you're going as low as 10. So you started from 13 to 18. Now you're going as low as 10. Okay.
Well, some people can hit puberty pretty early. What are you basing
in terms of
these statistics? They watch TikTok very early. They get the game,
See, this all just seems like conjecture. I don't really think like you're pulling any of your statements from any
What do you
kind of
think the
trends or
percentage
article.
is? No, I
Uh,
don't. I don't quote scriptures. No, I do not. You're right. Because that's just a left-right debate of this articles against your article, and we go back and forth. But I will say this: what do you think the percentage is of women who've been sexually assaulted, or the kid might be deformed, compared to just the normal average run-of-the-mill abortion?
I don't know. That is not a part of my argument.
Well, I would assume it's an insanely low percentage
Yeah, so you're
compared to
just
the
going to assume. Okay, gotcha.
yeah.
It
Well,
seems that
compared
that's
to
literally all your opinion is just assumptions.
it wouldn't matter if it was facts. I see it in the streets. You don't know ghettos. You don't know the darkness of fucking hoods. These people
Right. And your
are
blueprint of what
breeding
you
like
want
there's
to
no
do to
tomorrow.
solve that is completely asinine. Like it is seriously troubling to me that you don't see that.
That I don't see what.
Like the problematic nature of your solutions. Like, come
In the
on.
70s, they made abortion illegal. You know that, right? They made movies about it because women would still do it without
No,
the
they
doctor.
it became illegal in 1867 and
No.
then was
Uh-huh.
and then essentially became unconstitutional in 1973.
Yes. And remember, doctors got out of the game and women would still, kind of try to find ways to get rid of it. Man, I just, it's crazy to me that you don't understand how much breeding is going on and how much killing is going on. And they just keep going over. It's not normal, kind of middle class people. It's our poor nation getting poorer and worse. And you don't see it because we sit up here on, middle class ground, but
I
down.
didn't say that I don't see it. I was criticizing your solution.
My solution is simple. Just
It is absolutely not. It is asinine.
I mean, what do you mean? You don't think there should be a panel that says, we feel that if you want to delete this human from your body, we have to have, a reason, sexual assault, something.
No,
Tell us why
because
you want to get rid of this.
you are putting people in opportunity to, number one, be exploited because of their age. Number two, you aren't even trying to be proactive to prevent the situation.
That's the proactive.
I'm sorry, can I finish my point, or are you just going to continue to interrupt me?
Well, debates go back and forth, but go ahead.
And it just like your opinion seems so self-righteous. It is conjecture. I see no compassion. I see apathy. Like it's just
You couldn't believe the compassion that sits on it. How much I care about a poor community.
You clearly do not.
That has zero chance of any help because they have no dads, So
that's not like because they don't have dads. That's why they're in these situations. I grew up fatherless. Like, come on.
You are not them. What I'm saying is there's a difference between how we grew up and they grew up. I don't know what to say. Black communities, poor communities, minority communities.
I mean, it's so interesting that this is the lane you choose to drive in when we're having this conversation.
It's related to it.
I know, it's fascinating to me
because when you're, like I said, when you're poor and everything is bad, you want to do something that feels good. And you don't want the responsibility of it. You just want to do something that feels good. Now I hate minorities, and I'm racist. I love these words, right? I hate people. I want the demise of a color. You guys throw that word around like it's candy, man. You are idiots and dangerous people who call people these names. You're the ones who are dangerous and want people just to fuck without any responsibility.
They're not coming on here saying that we should punish and shame children for mistakes that they're making.
They're children. They need structure. Sex
that is not like...
That's the structure, right? Without it, you can press the reset button.
It is not the structure. That kind of thinking is so problematic, and the fact that you can't even see it makes it so dangerous.
Tell me why I'm wrong in the sense that I don't want people to bang without accountability. Why is it okay that they get to press the reset button and start over? And do it next week. A lot of doctors get sent to these clinics.
You do not have any facts to support your argument. You are essentially just making this conjecture. You are. You're essentially just proposing this idea that all these poor people just go and bang each other and then just get abortions like they're taking Tic Tacs. You have no studies to point to. And rather than showing compassion and empathy and being like, what kind of comprehensive solutions could we come up with? You're like, we should shame them and punish them by forcing pregnancy upon them and essentially saying how terrible of you as a society. Like, give me a break.
Yeah. No, I agree. If you were saying that, I would kind of agree with you because, wow, what a shameful society we've become, you know? And we forget what it was like in the 70s and 80s when family units were strong and poor people were starting to come up in the world, you know, because of Dr. King and Malcolm X and everyone like that. But it's definitely different now for sure. I'm going to get off the live. I appreciate the debate. I promise you there's no hate here. I just don't understand. I don't see the middle ground. It's always, well, let's let them do whatever they want and they won't ever feel shame.
I did not say that. I did not say that. I didn't even, my argument was to provide free and accessible healthcare, even public funding of IUDs and sex education starting in very young school, very young age, because we can also see that states that don't have any sex education do have higher rates of teen pregnancy.
I hope, you know, I mean, sex education is a tough one. That's a teacher sitting in front of you telling you the consequences of what could happen. But how much do kids listen to
and
adults?
Even valuable information so that you can stay safe and in your quote unquote, your words, responsible.
Just like we had those smoking videos and all those things, right? Everything's really helped people with those lessons. I think people are going to do what they want.
The smoking movement really did help until vaping came out. Like, because of smoking education in schools, teenage smoking significantly dropped. Even if you look, even in Colorado, they implemented those same policies of better access to contraceptives and public funding, as well as sex education. It works so well that their welfare, food stamps, and other social services dropped to the point where it not only paid for the program, it paid for and then some.
I hope
your plan children works. Weren't having children. So no, there are.
I hope your plan works.
Better solutions than what you are spouting.
I hope your plan works. I do think still there's a majority there, though. You know, I think there's a majority. Whether you've taken 20% and saved them.
It is an ignorant opinion.
Thank you.
I'm so fucking cute, bitch.